On the grid, the excitement is really building at this magnificent circuit. We're just about ready to go racing for today's Formula One Grand Prix. We have 10 turns to the left and 10 to the right here at the fantastic Circuit of the Americas. Overtaking opportunities into turn 1 and 12 at this anti-clockwise 3.6 mile track. And we should see average lap speeds of around 126 miles per hour. Anthony Davidson joins me once again in the commentary box, and it's fantastic to have you with us here today.
Good evening, everybody, and welcome. Welcome to Austin, Texas. Welcome to round 7 of SAF1. We're at the Circuit of the Americas. Well, currently we're looking at an empty pit lane, but we are at the Circuit of the Americas, I assure you. As soon as someone gets to the pit exit, you'll see. No one going out on track just yet. We do see some movement there from some mechanics. There we go, there's a Mercedes. Also a Williams Phantom getting out on track. You see the Circuit of the Americas played host to the MotoGP race just last weekend. We play host to Formula 1 not too long from now. Formula 1 has not visited this venue since 2019. Phantom's Williams not sounding too fantastic. Let's see if we can find another car to focus on. We have Zardi, one of the Mercedes. His teammates out there too. That's Brandon. So Brandon and Zardi both out. The two Mercs want to get out there early. Want to get that benchmark in, that first lap time. You see, this is not a full quali session consisting of the 3 sessions. This is just a single short quali that consists of 18 minutes. So obviously we have 16 drivers starting the race today. Those 16 drivers have 18 minutes to go out there and do what they can. Use those laps and that time as you will. You see everybody has a set of medium tires, a set of hard tires, and then I believe 3 sets of softs. It's going to be interesting to see what the guys do with the tires. Obviously the tire you qualify on is the tire you're going to have to start the race with. Start the race on the soft compound. Might be a bit quicker at the start. Those tires are going to drop off awfully quick. Go on the medium. Might be a bit slower in qualifying, but you can go that little bit further in the race. As you can see there on the timing screens, you can see 2 drivers on mediums. Both of them are in the pits. That's Don Rabico and Madtrav. They've both put mediums on their car, but have not chosen to go out as of yet. We ride with Zardi. Hello to Cadwell in the comment section, as well as Roman Grosjean, always a loyal fan. Obviously, if you watched the MotoGP over the weekend, you would have seen that this track surface is in an awful condition, considering it got resurfaced only 3 years ago. It was very bumpy, and at one stage the Moto3 race was almost called off. It's going to be interesting to see what that surface looks like when Formula 1 gets there in a couple of weeks' time. To SAF1 we ride with Zardi. No lap times on your screen. We're going to see a few coming up on our screens shortly. Zardi's going to be the first man, I believe, to go over the line, so he will get provisional pole for a short period of time. That's a 1:32.3. His teammate wasn't too far behind him. His teammate's actually gone faster than him. Not that much faster, just 400ths of a second in between the 2 teammates. Nothing in between the 2 Mercs. Been a for real on an outlap. Quinton, I believe, starting a fast lap. Where are we? Yes, we are. This is second. No, this is sector 3. I'm lost. Let's get out the comms box and back behind the wheel. Long right-hander, never seems to end. Stay as close to the inside as you can, but you don't want to get on that curb. Goes over the line. Now starting a fast lap. He's done 1 lap, so I wonder if that first one was invalidated or if I'm just reading that incorrectly. ATX Matty, the first driver on a fast lap on a set of mediums. So we'll get an indication how far up the order he can go with the set of mediums. I'm not 100% sure on Don Rabico, just asking the question there if he races in both divisions. I know he races on a Monday night. I'm not sure if he's taken up a full-time seat on a Tuesday as well, or if he's a reserve driver on a Tuesday. That may be the case, and when drivers don't show up, I think he's one of the reserve drivers that comes in. I'm not sure if he's a full-time driver for Tuesday nights, but he's a full-time driver for Monday nights, as far as I know. Right now with Matty, obviously he's got that set of mediums. Going out on the mediums first, so we can get an idea of what lap time he's capable of. It's a 1:34.7. I don't think he's going to be too happy with that. He's going to have to go around again. Quicker guys are in the low 32s. Times now are coming in. DRS Neil goes over the line. Provisional pole 1:32.2. Beats Brandon by 100th of a second. Then Quinton. Well, there's nothing in it. Look at that. Quinton and Zardi have identical lap times to 1,000th of a second. We need more. We need more decimals. We need a 4th decimal place in our timing screens. That's how close it is. We're at the Circuit of the Americas. We have Vino for real. He's a little bit off the time. That first lap of his came in at a 1:33.8. Is he going around for another attempt, or is he going to dive into the pits? Matthew's first attempt was a 1:34.7. I'm almost certain he's going around for another attempt. His teammate at Williams, Phantom. No disrespect to Williams, but that dash really annoys me. Seems like Jean has retired from the session. We didn't see what happened there, unfortunately. We were riding on board with Phantom. Here is Don Rabico. He's done just the one lap on the set of mediums. It was a 1:33.6, and he's returning slowly to the pits. See who's out on a quick lap. Where is Jaden? He's just gone over the line in a 1:31.9. Sambo goes over the line in 1:31.2. He goes second. Madtrav currently on provisional pole. Just look at those lap times. I thought the 32s were quick. These guys have just pulled out low 31s. Low 31. Now it reminds me why I'm in the comms box. So that means we have an Alpine on provisional pole, a Haas in second, and a Williams in third. Would make for an interesting podium. Sure, we haven't seen the end of this man yet. Jaden, Alpha driver, has been extremely quick this session, this season rather, has taken multiple pole positions and has shown in many of the rounds he can be one of the quickest drivers on the track. He's currently in 4th place, a lot of ways adrift, about 7/10 away from where he wants to be, so surely we're going to see more of him. Brandon back out on circuit for Mercedes-Benz. So many cars out on track, trying to keep an eye on everyone. It's just Jaden coming into the pits. Neil currently in 5th for 1:32.2. think, well, I thought he would have been happy with that lap time when he went over the line on 1:32.2. I thought, okay, that's a damn good lap time. And then, well, these guys went and did a 1:31.2. So, I think that is a little bit of a reveal into my own pace. A lot of drivers out laps, a lot of drivers in the pits, not that many guys out on track. Track is quiet at the moment. Zardi, one of the drivers out on track. Quinton, another one of those drivers. He's starting a fast lap. Zardi, you've caught him at a terrible time. If he's watching, he's not going to be too happy with me for catching him right there in the middle of a spin. We'll quickly join his teammate. Brandon now heading towards the longest straight on the track. Obviously he's going to open up DRS and give it everything. Six and a half minutes to go in the session. Don't think there'll be any more sandbagging at this point. I think at this point everybody's giving it absolutely everything. See a lot of cars in the pits. Guys making the final adjustments. They can have a gamble. Go out on one last run. See how far up this grid you can get. Remember, the tyres you qualify on are the tyres you're going to have to start the race on, considering you're inside the top 10. This is Quinton. Ride with him as he approaches the final corner on this Kota circuit, designed after our very own Kyalami circuit, and he goes third, a 1:31.7. Nicely done. Right, Kota inspiration was taken from several tracks around the world, such as the S's from Suzuka, but final corner at the Circuit of the Americas is an exact copy of the final corner at Kyalami. Benton currently fourth, 1:31.8. Look at that, he falls down the order as more drivers go over. Now it's DRS Neil, he goes over in a 1:31.7. Nobody getting close to that time from Madtrab at this time, 1:31.2. Anyone close enough? Samba 1/10 away, he's in the pits, as is Madtrab. I believe we're going to have a shootout between those two right at the end, I wouldn't be surprised. Let's have a look who looks to be going quick. Seems like Phantom is on a fast lap. Approaching that long straight now. Extremely scary straight this is on a MotoGP bike. If the bikes can reach 350 kilometers an hour down that straight. I think that was a quicker sector, and I think that was a purple second sector for Phantom, if I'm not mistaken. Just saw the track go purple as he crossed the line there. And I wonder if that was a purple second sector for Phantom. That means we should watch this lap. He goes into the final corner. What can he do? Currently in 5th place, a 1:31.8. He does improve, but just by 0.3 of a second. That's going to take him up to a 1:31.5 and 3rd place. Still 0.3 away from where he'd like to be. Samba is out on track. Man currently placed 2nd, just a 10th away from pole position. Madtrab, the man on pole, man himself. How much does he have left in his pocket? Remember, that run was pretty early on in the session. Nicely on a slow down lap. Madtrav and Samba both on out laps. Samba at the end of the straight. Madtrav in sector 1. So let's follow these two. Right with Samba because he's ahead on track. So he will set the lap time first. Let's try and keep the track of these two. Final corner onto the main straight, activates DRS and off he goes. He's going to start what will probably be his final run. I suppose he could squeeze one more in if he had the fuel, but I doubt he's carrying extra fuel. Head into turn 1, just touch that apex, and then you head downhill into the SS section that I'm pretty sure no one enjoys. Very nicely done. Right on board with him. Ooh! And that, my friends, is a commentator's curse. Let's go back to Madtrav. Won't be far behind. He's actually just starting his fast lap, and I wonder if he'll know. Samba has not retired, so I doubt that will come up on Madtrav's screen. He won't know. And clearly that horse will... Is it a horse? Yes, it's a horse. That horse will have damage. Can't just go around and do another lap. Just 1 minute in the session. Absolutely no way to get into the pits and have another go. We're in sector 2 with Madtrav. 40 seconds remaining in this session. He's currently on provisional pole. Quinton out on track. Looking to get himself up the order. How wide he goes here, gets as wide as he can onto the entry of the corner. Very nicely done. And to allow you to get on the power just that little bit earlier, because you're turning it into a bit of a straight. You're making the straight a little bit longer, put it that way. It's a yellow in sector 2. Got a horse going around slowly. See what Madtrav can do. He's in the final part of the track, into the final corner in fact. See, does he go faster? Current best is a 1:31.2. He does go faster. Just to rub some salt into the wounds. Does a 1:31.1. We'll join Quinton as he goes over the line. Let's see, does he improve? Yes, he does. He goes third. 1:31.3. That would have been good enough for pole on any other day. But these lap times are just so close. Who else is still out on track? We have Jaden out on track. Haven't seen the best of him yet. 10th down in sector 2. He's gonna have to find something really special here in sector 3. Currently a 1:31.9. Surely he can improve from that. Finds 2 tenths, he'll go 1 place up the grid. If he finds 4 tenths, he'll go 2 places up the grid. How many tenths can he find? What does he have left in that alpha? Ride with him as he heads through sector 3. Matty not able to improve, he'll stay 9th for 1:32.4, and Jaden goes over the line. We don't get the lap time because we got cut off, so we're going to have to wait for the official results, and then I'll read those out. There we go, so there's your official results. Let's go through them really quick. Madtrav took pole position with a 1:31.1, went and improved the time at the end. Samba, he retired from that session, but his lap time was good enough for second place. 1:31.3, really close. Then Quinton also 1:31.3. He's going to start from the front of the second row. Phantom in 4th, Jaden 5th at the end of the day, ahead of the Ferrari of Neil in 6th. Then Brandon 7th, Zadi 8th, two Mercs starting next to each other. Matty 9th, Vino for real 10th. And then just outside your top 10, you've got Shakes in 11th, Don Rabico in 12th, Jean 13th, Harmick 14th, Grimjaw 15th, and Royal Viking makes up your grid. You'll start from 16th place. See, Jaden leads the Drivers' Championship on 186 points from Madtrav, who's on 169 points. Phantom in third, 166. Still very close at the top. And then in terms of the Constructors' Championship, Williams 39 points ahead of Alfa Romeo. And those two teams, well, they're your two dominating teams. Not really correlating to what we see in the real world. Obviously, as you can see on the top of your screens, 20 odd seconds now. That's just the time the guys have left to do any small changes to their strategies. Decide what tyre you're going to start on if you're outside the top 10. And obviously the few bits and bobs that can be changed outside of Park for May, things like your front wing, might be things guys adjust right at the end. As you can see, there's your predicted pit stop strategy, not extremely helpful there. It's either going to be a 2-stop or it's going to be a 2-stop. So thank you, Jeff, or whoever came up with that that amazing piece of stats. Brilliant. You see the race starts off with a 1-lap formation lap. Lets the guys go around, get some heat into the tires, some heat into the brakes, get a feel for the car with a full tank. Unless you've been practicing with a full tank, this is the first time you're going to feel the car with a full tank. It's going to feel slightly different. Just because it's just because I called it a useless stat, it decides to pop up again. Gotta love it. Quinton obviously starting from third, emulating McLaren in life. McLaren obviously doing a fantastic job in the 2021 season. Their first win. And Lando, oh Lando, the less to say about it the better. So obviously Madtrav from pole, Samba second. Then your second row will be Quinton and Phantom. Third row, Jaden and Neil. Fourth row, the two Mercs of Brandon and Zardi. Fifth row, Matty and Vino. And then starting outside the top 10, it might be a good place to start considering where those S's are. Shakes in 11th, Don Rabico 12th place, Sean 13th, Harmick 14th, Grimjaw 15th, and Royal Viking making up the field. Hopefully the game gives us a decent camera angle for the start of the race. Can be tricky. Hopefully we have a clean turn 1 and everyone gets through those S's unscathed. All shall be revealed in the moments that lie ahead. Let's see. Everyone lined up, yes. Can we get a decent camera angle? Yes, there we go. Madtrav from Samba, who gets the better start. Seems like the Haas. No, the Alpine gets the better start. Nicely done. The Ferrari up the inside there. Nice start from Neil. He's made up a few positions. He's up into 4th place. Quinton holds on to 3rd. Samba holds on to 2nd, but the Alpine leads the way here on lap 1. Jaden 5th place. Phantom 6th. Brandon 7th. Zardi 8th. Those Mercs still together. Then we've got Matty in 9th. Harmick 10th. Seems like everyone's still on track. Don't see any carbon fiber flying around. Those are good signs. We've got yellow flags in sector 1 and 2. I spoke too soon. I believe that's Vino. That is Vino. He's just got back underway. I'm not quite sure what happened there. We're just going to ride with him just to see if I can spot any damage. Not a very useful camera angle. Let's see. There we go. Definitely damage to the right hand side there. No end plate. To Jean's car. And then Vino. Vino doesn't appear to have damage, but those two appear to have been in some sort of scuttle at the back. Meanwhile, back at the front, Madtrav leads from Samba 4/10 of a second. Obviously, we're on lap 1. When we get to lap 3, DRS will come into play. Madtrav will want to break that 1 second barrier and take DRS. Madtrav sets the fastest lap. So just the second lap of the race. These lap times are going to come down as the session goes on. And whoever happens to do a stint at the end on mediums to bring up some info on your screens. First of all, some track. Obviously Madtrav and Samba have held position. Neil has made up 3 positions. One of the biggest winners of the race so far. Quinton's lost a position. He's down in 4th place. As is Phantom, as is Jaden. All losing 1 position. Brandon is held firm. He's in 7th, where he started. Now, I'm not entirely sure what's going on here. I think this is a safety car. I do apologize, but it doesn't say safety car on my screen. So, yeah, that's never happened to me before, but it seems like the entire track is yellow. Everyone's going slowly, but I think that was a virtual safety car and it just didn't come up on my screen. It came up as a yellow flag for some reason. Anyway, sorry about that. It was a virtual safety car that completely eluded me. Madtrav leads the way from Samba at the restart. Half a second is the gap. Neil in 3rd. He's made up the most positions. That's the first penalty of the night. It goes to Harmick. And DRS is enabled as we reach lap 3. See Grimjaw DNF'd. I missed that. I think Grimjaw actually started a very short virtual safety car. I'm not sure what happened there, but everyone was driving around awfully slowly, but it didn't say VSC on my screen. So if I missed it, I apologize, but it's an unlucky one for Grimjaw. First retirement of the night means we're down to 15 runners. That looks pretty comfortable. Samba 2nd, Neil 3rd. Further down the order, the championship leader, Jaden, is currently in 6th place. He's obviously going to be looking to make up positions. His main championship contender is leading this race. Will take maximum points if he is not able to do something about it. Madtrav sets another fastest lap to 1:35.7. Jaden sets a 1:35.7, so he is matching the pace at the front. In fact, he beat that fastest lap by Madtrav. So many cars now within DRS, all in the top 10 there. I think the entire top 10, with the exclusion of Matty, will be able to use their DRS extremely close at the front. It's like a long tail. If you make a mistake, you're not going to lose one position, you're going to lose several. I think leading is one thing, chasing is one thing, but when you're in the middle of a queue, I don't think there's anything worse. Doing everything to get past the car in front of you, trying to spot all these little mistakes, but at the same time you've got to keep an eye on those mirrors. It's the guy behind you is probably doing exactly the same thing, just looking for that error. Seems like Quinton is getting closer to the Ferrari ahead of him. That's Neil. He's going to go for it here into turn 1. Thought about it. Definitely stuck the nose out. That mirror in the Ferrari would have been all orange. He would have known all about it. Some of the arrows would have been red if he had those activated. Would have been waiting for the dive bomb, but the dive bomb never came. Quinton thought better of it. Knows there's a long straight on the other side of this race circuit, and he will have the benefit of DRS. Sean has left the session, so DNFing for the night means we're down to 14 runners. Unfortunate luck for Jean continues this season. Hopefully he can get a better run in before the conclusion of this season. Sometimes you just need that good race to boost you. Still riding with Quinton, still chasing that Ferrari ahead of him. No change at the front. Madtrav leads from Sambo, that gap about the same, half a second. Then Neil just behind them. Quinton just behind Neil. Behind that McLaren, we have a Williams or Phantom, as well as Jaden looking very hungry. Going to be here, not to come from too far back. Nope, stays behind. He didn't even think about it. He didn't even show the nose cone. For the time being, he's happy to just follow this group around, wait for the mistake in front of him. The easiest racetrack for passing, but 2 or 3 spots on the track you can pass, but if you're not close enough on those particular spots, like right here, Jalen runs a bit wide, and now coming off the straight you want to be as close as you can, make the most of DRS. But as you can see, by the time you opens DRS, really quite a distance. Phantom will be aware of that Alpha in his mirrors while he chases down the McLaren ahead of him. The McLaren ahead of him, as his hands will do. We had an incident, or is my timing screen going mad? I think my timing screen's going mad. Well, here comes Neil into the pits. He's decided no more of this. No more of this queue. He's gonna go and get a fresh set of tyres. Get out, hopefully on a clean track. Get some clean air. So difficult to follow for this amount of time, and the dirty air does play a role. Does affect the front of the car, does affect the turn in. After a while, if you just have a little lapse of concentration, it's so easy. There's Phantom. Gaps now, they appear to be opening up, but when you look at the timing screen, they're definitely not opening up. See, Quinton is now second because of Neil's pit stop. Well, Samba has also made his pit stop. Seems to be the time for the guys that started on soft. We're probably going to see them coming in one by one over the next 4 or 5 laps. Depends how far in that pit window you want to stop. Sometimes you'll see a potential undercut and take the first opportunity. Sometimes you'll wait a little longer. Thanks to everyone who is watching over on the YouTube channel, thank you, and hopefully you're enjoying the racing. Racing Madtrav at the moment, he's a second behind the leader, so he's not going to get the benefit of DRS. It does help every now and then when you get to that DRS section. If you make a slip up here or there and lose a tenth to the guy ahead of you, that DRS can just eliminate that, neutralize that mistake, and bring you back into it. It just sort of tows you along a little bit. But once that DRS breaks, might find it a little bit more difficult to stay with him. Hopefully this is the sort of racing we will see with the 2022 regulations. Actually, cars being designed really around producing less dirty air and allowing for closer racing. And that's what we're seeing here. This lead pack. Still 5 cars following each other around. Very close together, all in the same frame. Madtrav leads the way. He has since the start of the race, where he started on pole position. Really think Samba was lining up something special on that final qualifying lap, but we all saw what happened to him. But he started from second. It wasn't too bad of a penalty for that spin. Retire. Well, he didn't retire, did he? Kept going. Madtrav still leads from Quinton. 1.3 seconds is the gap, so that gap is increasing ever so slightly, and it's getting further and further away from that DRS that he'll want to hold on to so badly. And now he's got Phantom to worry about. Phantom goes wheel to wheel with him, but he's got the inside line, and he's going to hold on to that for now. Just got to keep you cool. That's what Jaden appears to be doing. He's in 4th place. Two getting busy with each other ahead of him, and he'll know that the potential mistake could come at any time. Could pick up a position or even 2 if they really get tangled. Gonna get DRS now. But so does Phantom, so it sort of just neutralizes everything. And Quinton just able to stay ahead of the queue. So he holds on for second, but that gap does increase by another 3/10, so it's 1.6. Sorry, 44. I wonder if he's a Lewis fan. Isn't a Merc? And there's a 44 in his name, so I wonder. Very possibly a Lewis fan. Harmick 7th, ahead of his Ferrari teammate Neil. And Brandon 9th, and Samba making up the top 10. Obviously made a stop early on while he's on mediums. They're all the drivers that have made a pit stop. Those drivers are Neil, Brandon, Samba, Matty, Royal Viking, Shakes and Vino. Madtrav, Phantom, Quinton, Jaden, Don Rabico, all looking Jaden into the pits. So Madtrav, Phantom and Quinton yet to jump into the pits. We join a battle here for second place. Phantom did make his way past Quinton, but now Quinton's in DRS and he's not ready to let that position go. Both of these cars on a set of softs. They're going to have very similar strategies within a lap or two. Wouldn't be surprised if they came in on the same lap. So that's the benefit of being the car that is chasing. Guy behind pits, you can just copy his strategy if you want. Follow him into the pits. Avoid the potential undercut. The undercut doesn't always work, but get out there that first lap with a fresh set of mediums, you find a lot of pace. Now Quinton goes back up the inside of the Williams. Nicely done, and the Williams gave him room there as well. Great driving all round. The battle for second in this race. Still a very far way from being decided as Madtrav quite a way up the road. Your top three all on a set of softs. 11 laps old, because those are the tyres they started on. Don Rabico in 4th and Harmick in 5th. They are on a set of mediums. Phantom comes into the pits. Quinton has come into the pits. Who's going to come out ahead? It's going to be Quinton. Quinton's going to come out ahead of the Williams, and these two are destined to be together the entire race, it seems. Now they start a different part of their race. They come into the midfield now with a fresh set of mediums. They're going to have a few guys ahead of them that either pitted earlier or started on mediums. You see Neil, his mediums are 4 laps old. He stopped a while ago. And then Harmick and Don Rabico, they're both on mediums, but they started on those mediums. Some predictions we saw at the start of the race from our brilliant tool that we had there told us a 2-stop. I'm wondering if these guys are going to pull this into a 1-stop, because it looks that way. I don't think a 2-stop is going to be completely necessary. Now only Madtrav. And as I say that, I was going to say Madtrav now the only driver to stay out there on the tyres he started on, but he's now dived into the pits. And luckily the crew don't make pit errors in the game, so you don't have to stress. Where does Madtrav come out? Former leader. He's going to come out in 9th. Just ahead of Matty. He's got Samba ahead of him. Some 5-lap-old mediums. 3-second penalty for Samba. He could have probably done without that while trying to get as far up the order as he can. That's the last thing you want, is 3 seconds. Jaden up to 4th. Quinton 5th. Jaden pitted a lap before Quinton and Phantom. It seems like he did get the undercut, because I think he was behind those two. And as you can see, it's clearly ahead of them now. Where are the Mercedes-Benz? They obviously started next to each other on the 4th row of the grid. Brandon is still there. He's in 7th place. Saudi, though, he's down in 11th. Every single car on this track is on a set of mediums. Harmick and Don Ravico are the drivers currently in 1st and in 4th. Those mediums are 13 laps old. And if they're going to do a one-stop onto a set of softs, then I'm guessing they're going to take these tyres up until about lap 18, lap 19. And finish off with the softs with 10 or 11 laps at the end. Something like that. Just considering they can push it that far, I have no idea of the state of the tyres of any of these drivers. I don't have that sort of info. I'm not allowed to have that sort of info. When I start giving out all sorts of driver stats, then more people tune in because they wanna know what the guy up the road's doing and what his ERS looks like. So that's why the telemetry is not on your screens. You can't be leaking team information. Neil leads this race from Don Rabico. It's 14 lap old mediums. See, where would he come out? And if you look at these, if you look at the times between the drivers, they're just all so close together that if you pit now, oh, you're going to come out at the back of the field. In fact, he's going to come out right at the back of the field if that timing screen is correct, so not going to enjoy that too much. The leading McLaren at the time. He'll do his teammate a few favours here if he keeps Jaden behind for as long as possible, but Jaden now up the inside, and he's going to have the benefit of DRS up the straight because he was behind when they went across the centre. And Ravico can't do too much about that. He's also on a set of mediums, but obviously those mediums are much older. And he's going to start to have just 1 or 2 tyre issues now. Maybe not get on the power as early as he wants to, brake as late as he wants to. Absolutely no free pit stops today. Comment from Roman Grosjean. No free pit stops today. The times are just awfully too close. If you were to come in now simply to try and get a set of softs, go for the fastest lap, you could potentially come out at the back of the field. As you can see now, those 2 drivers have come into the pits. The 2 medium runners, you can see them falling down the order. That's because they're in the pits. Harvick's still stationary. McLaren, though, of Don Rabico is up the road. Let's see where they rejoin. It's not going to be lost. But they come out in 10th and 11th. But they're going to have the fastest tyre in the latter stages of this race. It's all about what can you do with that tyre at the end of the race. If the gaps are too big, it's just pointless. Neil leads from Jaden, so it's an all Ferrari power top 2. Question there in the comment section: can Don Rabico go to the end on softs? I think he can. It's going to be a bit of a stretch. He's going to have to maybe not go too crazy on them in the first 5 or 6 laps. But yeah, if he conserves them, I don't think it should be a problem. But if he tries to make up too much time, tries to make up too much positions, we have a retirement, and it's a big retirement. We missed it. It's Samba. There he is on the side of the track. Let's ride with Royal Viking. Is far behind. Let's see when he goes around here. We are with the helicopter cam. So, oh, and the car's disappeared just in time, so we're not going to see it. Luckily, no safety car. But ERT Samba, one of the front runners, one of the pace setters, is not going to pick up any points. The circuit of the Americas tonight. Neil leads from Jaden. Technically a Ferrari 1-2. Quinton third for McLaren. This would be a second consecutive podium. Wouldn't that be fantastic? After his bad luck in the beginning of the season, almost having a Daniel Ricciardo renaissance. Brandon, the top running Mercedes-Benz. He's got Madtrav right behind him. Madtrav's going to want to get by. Did lead most of this race. Went as long as he possibly could on the softs. And that could very well come into play. He's on that final lap or two. His mediums are going to be just a little fresher than everyone else's. And they're going just a little longer on the soft. It's going to pay off. Or if he simply lost too much track position. Phantom chasing down the McLaren yet again. These two together again. Jaden chasing down Neil. That's a 1 second gap. I think it was just over the 1 second when they crossed the beam, so no DRS for Jaden on this lap. He's going to have to get that little bit closer if he wants to get into DRS contention. We're on lap 18 of 28. 10 laps to go. I think everybody pretty much is on the one stop. Like the comments section there said, there's just no free pit stop. The times between the drivers are simply too close. Making an unnecessary pit stop will result in 8 or 9 positions down. So now you're just causing trouble in the comment section. How could you even make mention of that? Now that I do look at it, the clouds not as blue as they were at the start of the race. Very overcast. And could be interesting. 5 laps to go. Maybe a sprinkle of rain. Sure, everyone watching is a fan of Formula 1 and knows who Bernie Ecclestone is, and that was one of Bernie Ecclestone's many crazy ideas that actually got turned down by the FIA. Bernie Ecclestone once said all the tracks have sprinklers. Why don't we, switch them on for 5 or 10 laps every now and then, spice things up? And the FIA was, well, the FIA was like, no. Sure, these guys don't want any sprinklers and they don't want any rain with any distance of this race to go. They want to get over the line before any raindrops fall. Haven't heard anything in the comment section about possible rain. Nobody's let me know about that. So I think it would be a surprise to the drivers as well. Obviously the weather predictions on this game can be quite tentative. Once raced in a race that basically, if you followed the weather, it said that the last 15 or 20 minutes of the race there would be rain. Well, on the formation lap, Jeff informed me rain would commence in 15 minutes, and I had a dry setup. So the weather on this game may still pull a surprise, but the laps are running out, just 8 laps to go. Obviously, if the rain does start to fall, it doesn't mean they have to come into and put on inters immediately. It can sometimes take a lap or two for the track to deteriorate. Another DNF, this time for Harmick. Matrav's next victim up the road, 2.8 seconds up the road. It's Phantom. That is the Williams ahead of him. He's doing everything he can to get past the McLaren. He must be so familiar with the sponsor on the rear wing of that McLaren. They'll be desperate to get past at this stage. Neil's second to Jaden. Jaden did make the pass. Ferrari has most certainly not let go of this. 0.6 of a second between the two of them. It's going to be close right to the end. Just 7 laps to go. See DRS very much a factor on that back straight. Get that very, very slow left-hander that leads onto that straight. You want to, here it is, you want to be as close to the gearbox as you possibly can. Then when you activate DRS, you can just make the most of it. I think this time he's just still a bit too far back, 0.8, it's a bit too much. Jaden leads the way, that is your championship leader. Leading from Neil, he'll probably be happy. His main rival only in 5th there for Madtrav. He's going to lose some points. He needs to get up the field, and he is chasing Phantom. That gap was 2.8 seconds. It's 2 seconds, so he's taken 0.8. He's taken 0.8 out of the Williams ahead of him. Go back to Neil, the man in second. He does get DRS crucially this time around. He actually came around the corner and he was just over a second, but obviously when they went over that beam, it was just enough. And then you can see that's closed up the gap to just half a second by the time they get to turn 1. That's the difference DRS can make. Pulled half a second on him on that straight. Really on this back straight. Said it too many times this race, you just got to get as close to the gearbox as you possibly can on the braking. And I think I just saw a raindrop. There it is again, folks. Let's just ride on board. Yeah, there we go. We have rain. We have rain. Welcome, well done, I mean, to Roman Grosjean. You called that. You see that coming with so few laps to go, but there we have rain. And what does this mean? 6 laps to go. The rain is falling. And now obviously the next thing that comes into play is how quickly does this track transition? Are the guys still going to be able to do a lap or 2 on slicks? Is the track ready for inters? Jaden leads from Neil, and that gap all of a sudden 1.4 seconds, like the rain just putting the Ferrari off a little bit. Phantom has gotten past Neil, so the rain is causing havoc. Now Madtrav just 0.9 of a second away from that McLaren. The rain has come from nowhere. First it was a few dots of rain. I said, is this rain? Is this rain? And it definitely is. Look at that. There's actually spray coming off the tires. And the weather transition came so quickly. Thought it would take a lap or two. The rain started at the start of the race, and by the time they got to at the start of the lap, and by the time they got to the end of the lap, everyone needed to pit. So everyone out on inters. Whether it was a 2-stop strategy, whether it was a 1-stop strategy, everybody's got to stop again. Intermediate tires. I wasn't going to say it, but don't pull a Lando. Royal Viking has not put on mediums, has inters. He is on a set of mediums, but surely he's going to dive into the pits now. Yes, he does. Means our entire field will be on inters for the remainder of this race. We have 5 laps to go. It's going to be a 5-lap sprint race in the rain. None of the drivers in qualifying warned me about this weather. Let me just check on my phone. Maybe someone did warn me about this weather. I haven't looked at my phone in a while. Nope, that does not appear to be the case. So nobody warned me about the rain, so I think the drivers are just as surprised as I am. I don't think anyone would have expected this. Obviously this is where you put your wet weather skills to the test. It's a different art, it's a different way of driving really. Don't just drive like it's dry, you will crash. It doesn't work that way. You have to adjust the way you drive, adjust the way you come out of the corners, the way you accelerate. See that Ferrari just getting out of shape there. That's when you get on the power just a little too early. These are obviously intermediate conditions. The drivers will be hoping it doesn't get worse before the end of the race. Could you imagine everybody had to come in for a blue wall tyre? I don't mind driving on the inters, but when it comes to full wets, well, whatever little pace I have, it's gone. I am definitely no rain master, no Ayrton Senna. Who has found himself behind the McLaren of Quinton for such a long time. When the rain came down and the pit stops, he's actually found himself up into 3rd place. Luckily for all 5 drivers in the top 5, no penalties. Everyone else in the race, same can't be said. 11 runners, 6 down to 11, all carrying penalties. Your top 5 though, clean as a whistle. Jaden leads from Neil, 2.6 seconds is the gap, 4 seconds with 4 laps remaining. So Viking picking up another penalty. Let's just bring up that screen for you real quick to see what these penalties are exactly. But they're all in threes. So all of these penalties are for the same thing. They're all for multiple corner cutting. Brandon has 3, Don Rabico is 6, Matty 3, Zardi 6, and then Vino and Viking 9 apiece. See, like I said, drivers in the top 5, no penalties. All those 2 stops you see on your screen, those were all supposed to be 1 stops. Really think, well, maybe they knew this weather was coming, and that's why no one was worried about stretching the softs. If that is the case, you guys need to give me better weather report for the race. Caught me completely off guard. 3 laps to go. Neil chasing Jaden for all it's worth. Phantom 2.3 seconds ahead of Quinton. Quinton doing everything he can to reclaim that podium position, but I don't think he was one of the drivers hoping for rain on the night. Not the biggest fan of rain. Obviously, if you are watching, thanks for watching. We're live every Monday night and Tuesday night. Monday night we just have a slightly different arrangement to this one. Might see 1 or 2 familiar names, but the racing is completely different. We have two 25% races. Top 10 get reverse grid for the second race. And then on a Tuesday night we have a single event 50% race. Round 7 of which will soon be coming to an end. 7:30 Monday and Tuesday. Obviously, if you haven't subscribed to the channel, you can do that. Every time we go live, you will get a notification. And if you haven't left a like, you can just click that thumbs up and leave a like on the channel. It helps with the visibility of the channel. And it's just a click, really. Jaden still leads. That gap opening up. Phantom still third. Seems like all the gaps now that were so close together starting to open up in the rain. Everyone trying to be awfully careful. Obviously simulation damage is on in SAF1 Tier 1, and that means any little nudge, any little mistake, you're gonna have a damaged car, and in these conditions that's the last thing you want. So everybody's just trying to get to the end of the race now, and you can see it as a result in the gaps that were tenths of a second are now multiples of seconds. 27 of 28 laps, 2 laps to go. Jaden leads the way, 2.7 seconds. Does Neil have anything left, or is he accepted second place? We now approach the end of the race. Obviously just 2 laps to go, final stages. The rain is falling, and I think everybody in their own quiet little headspace right now, just trying to get to the end of the race. We don't have any battles out on track. You see that by your timing screen on the left hand side. All the gaps are pretty reasonable. This is the closest gap we have on track. That's Mad Trav chasing Quinton, and that gap is 1.9 seconds. It's the closest gap we have on the circuit with 2 laps to go. Rain has really, instead of mixing things up, really just opened things up. Jaden, what a race he has had. Mixed fortunes. Not the best qualifying session. Found himself a little further down the order earlier on in the race. Yet again, puts his head down, and as conditions around him change, the race this time just came to him. And your championship leader surely going to extend that championship lead, which is 4 rounds to go. Samba has left the session, so at least we know he was watching the race. was enjoying it, even though he retired earlier on. Still Jaden from Neil. We have a yellow flag in Sector 3. I think that's Vino for real going awfully slowly. Is it Vino for real? I think it is Vino for real. The Alpha's actually coming up behind him, the leader. There we go, he'll lap him so he can do one lap less. And there we go, Jaden around the final corner. He's taken victory here in round 7 at the Circuit of the Americas in Austin, Texas. Fantastic. Second place for Ferrari. We wait for third place. Here he comes over the line. Nicely done for Phantom. Quinton over the line in 4th. Madtrav over the line in 5th. All the cars coming over really quickly now. Brandon over the line in 6th. He seems pretty happy with that. He goes towards the pit wall. Don Rabico stepping up to Tuesday night. Stepping up for McLaren in place of Eugene tonight. He takes 7th place. Going to get a nice handful of points. Good day for McLaren. Matty's going to come home in 8th. Zardi will come home in 9th. Now we just wait for Royal Viking. Obviously Vino was a lap behind, so he has already been classified in 11th place. A little bit confusing. 11th place is classified, but we have to wait for 10th place to finish the race. So all eyes now on this man as he goes over the penultimate corner into the final corner, modelled after Kyalami's final corner, and over the line. And that, folks, is the United States Grand Prix. Driver of the day, Don Rabico. Qualified obviously down the order, was able to finish in 7th place. And there is your podium. Jaden from Neil, from Phantom in 3rd. And what a fantastic race. Sorry about that, I am back. There's our official results. Jaden obviously winning the race from Neil, Phantom 3rd. Then Quinton just missing out on a podium. Madtrav 2nd in the championship. He's not going to be too happy with that result. He finishes in 5th. And Brandon 6th. Don Rabico 7th. Making the step up. And he actually got the best lap there, 1:34.5. So he's going to get an extra point for McLaren. Matty finishes 8th. Zardi 9th. Royal Viking 10th. Then we have Vino in 11th. And I think that was your last classified driver. Everyone else, DNF. I want to thank everybody who has joined us. We will obviously, or I rather, will be back next week Tuesday. But SAF1 will be back next week Monday. Obviously, the man in the McLaren today, he will be commentating. That's Quinton. He'll be your commentator on Monday night next week. Join him. And join me next week Tuesday, when we go to, well, where are we going? I'm not quite sure. Let me just